you about your story and getting into this stuff. So you said there was a guy. So obviously a guy got you into this?
Yes, yeah.
Women, there you go. There's number one.
Boyfriend?
Demon worshippers, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How old?
24.
Okay.
You're still trying to figure out my age.
19 more questions.
I guess maybe we need to edit this part out. Because I was trying to see how old you were.
If he was like kind of grooming her.
When you were trying to get into it.
No, he wasn't grooming me. Mm-hmm. But no, I was practicing witchcraft at the time. But I was working with Hecate. She is a Greek goddess.
Okay.
She is known as like the mother of demons, but she isn't directly a demon herself. And it's very much a different dynamic. So I got into that stuff because of my very Christian upbringing. I wanted to hear their side of things, you know, the demons, the fallen ones. And once I kind of started getting into it, I learned from him that the way that you do it is that you don't trap them. You do it completely with almost like you're dealing with a human, a business transaction. And they're very tricky in the way that you'd expect them to be. They only want what they can really get for themselves, and they always have another agenda. So I worked with Grimoire, I worked with Bifrons, and I worked with Arias.
Sounds like a lot of people I know.
Sounds like the entertainment industry.
Yeah, right? Tricky, always got another agenda. It's like, yeah.
Same idea. They just have a little more power, maybe.
The
more people, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what it came down to is a lot of that. I mean...
So how would you contact these demons?
So you can do
What were your interactions like with them?
You can do specific rituals. The first time that I contacted Grimoire, so essentially I just cut my finger open and I wrote her sigil in blood on my, I have like this little skull. It's like a skeleton vertebrae of a cow that I found. So I just wrote that in blood right there, and then I lit a candle, put my blood in the candle, and I just said some certain words, and she appeared.
You saw her?
Yeah, well, I'm
Could you show me the sigil?
I don't know if I know it off the top of my head. I can show you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
You from, all right, so we'll look at, and the people could look it up. Okay.
It's in like all the books. You can like look up all of their different ones so that you can summon them.
So you wrote her sigil in blood, and then what happened?
She just appeared to me.
Appeared how so? Like in a vision, or like as your eyes were open, you saw her?
I was in a dark room and I could see her energetic form. Ooh. So I couldn't actually see any like defining features. It's almost like if you can see like the energy radiating off of a person. You can see like the form. She's very tall, very slim. But I've seen her in visions as well, and she's very beautiful. Very like
every demon I ever met was, that's for sure.
It's how it goes.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, very like Egyptian looking, Mesopotamian looking.
Her physically? Is what she looked like. What she looked like in that room? Or you were?
No, that was in a vision later.
Okay, but because at first you just saw her energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question, just to get the first one out of the way, would be: well, if you can see demons, are you able to see angels?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you interacted with angels?
So I used to work at a shop, and they all worked with angels. And at the time, I was working almost only with demons. Mm-hmm. And they were like, I remember very blatantly one day, a woman came into the shop, and she goes, Archangel Michael told me you work with demons. I'd never seen this woman in my life, and I was like, fabulous, love that.
What kind of shop? Is it like a psychic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a metaphysical shop.
Okay.
Yeah, I did readings there, and then I worked the front like little area as well.
Okay.
But I can see like their energetic forms, but when it comes down to it, you're going to see what is allowing itself to be revealed to you.
Okay. And why do they reveal themselves to you? What are they looking to get out of you? Is there an actual way to barter with a demon? Like, I can't see that they, do they take cash or credit? Like, how does this work?
Well, it depends. Later, I found out that the one demon who was working with my boyfriend the most, he found out that, and I quote, she wanted to eat his soul. So that was like her end game.
Okay.
So she told you that, or he did?
She told him that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he told you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, and then he stopped working with her because they'd been like loyal to each other for a while.
Yeah. Wow. You don't want to get you jealous. That's your soul to eat.
Yeah, it's my soul to eat. Come on.
Come on, man. Just don't share. So this is kind of it's hard to believe, right? I mean, for normal people, it's like, 100%. All right, this is either you're putting on, or maybe there's mushrooms involved here, or like what? So, at what point did you? Let's take you at 100% face value and say that you're being 100% honest. Okay. Yeah. At what point did you realize you were different and you had different senses and you were able to see things differently than other people?
I was really young. I was probably like 6.
And how many years ago was that?
So I was living in New York at the time, and I was walking with my mom, and I remember seeing a scorpion on like the sidewalk.
In New York?
In New York. And I pointed at it, and I was like, Mom, look, there's a scorpion. And I was afraid of him. I was deathly afraid of scorpions. And she's like looking down, and there's nothing there. I blink, it's gone. And I'm like, okay, that's suspicious. That's a little weird. But I was a kid. You have really crazy imaginations as a kid. You just let it go. Yeah. So later, I ended up, going home. A couple of days passed, and my mom pulls me into the kitchen. She's like, Dee, like, guess what happened? I'm like, what? She's like, you, like that whole scorpion thing you saw? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, there was like a really big thing of like scorpions found in like a local fruit thing. Like it came through. So I was like, oh, that's a little bit weird. And then from then on, I started like but I would start hearing the spirit that lived in my attic who was trying to lure me upstairs.
He was trying to lure you upstairs, he or she?
He was creepy.
What was his agenda to lure you upstairs?
I really don't know. I would walk up the stairs and he would just say my name. I was like 6 years old.
That's why
we gotta get Scrappy. We gotta get Scrappy and Ryan on this.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to go from Predator Hunter to Ghostbuster. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
If anyone can, it's them.
For sure.
Ryan will figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the worst case scenario for a dad. It's like, show me that demon is. Some book kick his ass. Are demons, are they nasty? Are they nasty people? Are they people?
Well, I would assume demons are like that, kind of the opposite of angels.
Yeah.
I would assume they're like, like angels would be, like holy and good and all that stuff, and demons would more be like demons. Isn't the definition like kind of negatively inclined?
Oh my God, yeah, 100%.
But they're not as like is it not as black and white?
Some people say that it's not. I think it really depends on who you ask. I know a lot of practitioners who work with demons, and they have really good experiences with them. And I did have good experiences with the demons I worked with. They were never nasty. They weren't like these big scary things that would try to scare you. Like they were very manipulative, very charming. Conniving, for sure. And they wanted to come across a certain way in order to get what it was that was going to be rewarded to them. And they never, ever told you what it was that they were going to get out of the situation. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't so much as bartering as much as them finding out what they could get and then being like, okay, I'll offer you this.
But what does a demon want? Like, what do they want from the physical realm?
Like how would like the dialogue, the correspondence go between you and a demon? Like I'm still having trouble kind of wrapping my head like around like how like what are they saying or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends. Some of them speak like in really cryptic riddles. It's like something you'll hear, but you can't really talk back to them. A lot of them I would communicate with my cards or a pendulum. So you get like the yes, no, and the letters, kind of like a Ouija board. But a lot of times what was wanted for many of them it was like sexual offerings. Mm-hmm. They want that energy.
Okay.
So they will like directly ask you for that.
Mm-hmm. So like what? Like specifically?
I mean, pretty much it's like masturbating, but you have them in mind and you're like, okay, I devote this energy to you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Have demons
some pervy demons
heard of OnlyFans?
I know.
Yeah.
Because they can like get that whenever they want.
Whenever they want.
They need human currency for that.
Yeah.